What's up, guys? Ben here, bringing you another video today. Apologies for the lack of content on the YouTube channel. We're going to start ramping up now. The Champs is coming up. I got a lot of content coming for you. Off-season previews for every 12 teams in the league. We got previews for all the teams competing at Champs, covering all the challengers info, EWC, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to first kick off this sort of run talking about a sheet that I built yesterday on stream, the free agent tracker. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about some of the information in it, some of the revelations, and that'll kind of help inform a lot of the videos that we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. So if you guys remember like a million years ago at this point, I think it was like 2 years ago, when I really first started this YouTube channel, we had a sheet that I worked on with Easy Mac that listed, you know, every player in the league and kind of their contract status, as well as listing kind of a table of free agents, either that were on teams or coming from challengers. And we kind of use this to sort of inform a lot of videos we did, kind of track as moves happened throughout the off season in sort of 22, 23. I stopped really maintaining this sheet a couple of years ago because it became a pain in the butt to maintain because the player tracker on the CDL website that I was using to kind of inform a lot of this wasn't really getting updated. When I would try to reach out to get information on people, I would get mixed signals, and I just didn't really want to, I kind of didn't want to be like the arbiter of truth on this. But it kind of became clear, I think, in the last like couple of days, I wanted to start doing like off-season preview videos. We're talking about like roster moves on stream. It wasn't really a great repository because the player tracker went from, you know, not even being like filled out to, if I click this link now, you're going to notice that the page is gone. Like the tracker is just gone. So I was like, okay, well, we got to replace this. We got to get something in here. So yesterday on stream, I went ahead and created kind of a 2024 version of this. I got a lot of information from folks that hit my DMs with a list of free agents, as well as a list of contract statuses for every person in the league. I feel pretty like confident in all the information on here. And since I did, the stream yesterday and the tweet, like I haven't had anyone hit me up and say the information isn't correct. But if you're a team or a player, an agent, or someone in the know that you have information that this is incorrect, like please let me know and please provide evidence to that. Just don't come into my DMs and say, yo, information's wrong. The source that I have is fairly accurate. So you're going to need to provide some evidence as to why sort of a lot of that documentation is incorrect. But I wanted to explain kind of how to use this sheet. I will include a link in the YouTube video. It's also like I tweeted out yesterday, and we'll kind of walk through some of the findings in here because I think there's some interesting stuff. So the way the table works, I listed out all of the players and pretty much like notable subs on teams. A lot of substitute players are generally coaches right now, so I didn't really list coaches because I'm not gonna get picked up as players. Players I think that are notable, I listed their contract status. And you see there's 3 columns. Column 2 will list the contract status they have for the upcoming season. So there's really 3 statuses there. One is a free agent, so their contract is over as of the end of the league year. We'll get to that in a second. So they're a full free agent. Contracted means they are still under contract at least for next season. And for most people in the league, they have what's called a team option. So basically the way the team option works is that in their contract, there is a clause that allows for a team, the team that they're currently on, or the team that maybe trades for their contract, to be able to execute what is outlined as an additional year in their deal. That in the contract basically says like, if the team option is executed, here's what they will get paid for the upcoming year, other clauses, bonuses, whatever. And basically teams have until 2 weeks after Champs ending. So in this case, it would be August 4th to be able to execute that team option. So then because of the team option kind of thing, there's a third column here, which is FA ? And there's basically a couple of different statuses on this one. No will obviously list anyone that I don't think is going to hit free agency. You see for Atlanta FaZe, none will be free agents, even though they have team options. We'll get to that in a second. Yes means obviously if you're a free agent, like it's going to be yes. Like you're a free agent. For team option, I had a lot of different statuses, and this is really more color based on like what I think the org is going to do. So likely means they will likely become a free agent. Unlikely means they're unlikely to become a free agent. And unclear is, well, I'm not really sure what is going to happen. So I think for me, the likely, unlikely, unclear as far as team options is one thing that color. If anyone has information about conversations with orgs or player intentions, like let me know and I can update accordingly on here. Let's go team by team and I'll kind of explain sort of the status of everybody in the league. All right, first off, we have Atlanta FaZe. So the way that ATL basically has done this since the beginning of their team is everybody on their team is on a 1+1. The team then picks up their option after Champs and then negotiates with the players for their new 1+1 contract that they'll sign for the upcoming season. Basically just on rolling 1+1s, and they just negotiate with the players every single year. So I don't expect anyone from ATL to be a free agent. If they do make a roster change, someone will just get bought out or traded or whatever. So none of them are going to hit the market in this situation, I would expect. All right, Minnesota's one's a little bit interesting. And I had Ace, aka the Stocksman, kind of help me out with this one. So everyone on the team is on a team option. Looney's your substitute, by the way, so that's why I haven't listened. And based on Ace's assessment, which I kind of trust his more than mine, just because, well, you know, Lamar's family. You know, in his assessment, the Pierce Gunless situation is a little bit unclear because he joined mid-season. Linz, obviously, based on the way that he's played, it's unlikely that ROKKR will let a developing sub player leave. And then for accuracy and sanity, they may let the players test the free agent market, considering the current rumor is that Gunless and Linz are a team of two, as ROKKR is trying to figure out who the roster will be for EWC. So again, not sure if there's not like 100% on any of those statuses. So if anyone has color in particular, if you feel otherwise on that, like slide in my DMs, but that is the color I have on the ROKKR kind of team option situation. Let's keep moving. Boston. So everybody is on a team option except for Snoopy. So Snoopy is at least contracted and will not hit the market. But my guess is that everybody on Boston will be allowed to test free agency. I'm surprised they don't pick up Ben Beans' option. Based on the rumors and that rumored roster, at the moment, it seems like that is the case for this roster. I'll talk about this more in my upcoming Boston Breach offseason preview video in the next couple of days. All right, New York Subliners. So I wanted to kind of highlight Hydra here because I know there's been some, is he gonna be a free agent, not a free agent? So it looks like Hydra signed a 2+1. So to back up what Ace, the Stocksman has said on stream, Hydra is not going to be a free agent this year. Same with Sib and Kisman, who all signed new deals last year. Sky's obviously unlikely, I think, to be a free agent again. Even if they decide to make a roster change there, I think they'll just pick up his option and go from there. So all this Hydra free agent stuff, could he change rosters? Absolutely. Anyone on a team option, you know, at the beginning of that offseason could get bought out, could get traded. It's likely, obviously, with New York, you know, having new management coming in, you never really know. But as far as like the New York situation, no one I expect on this team will likely hit free agency. All right, let's keep moving. Miami Heretics. So this one's a little bit interesting. I got to explain some of the context here. So Lucky Metals, Eric Boom, all signed multi-year deals when they joined Miami Heretics in the offseason. So actually, there's extra contract years left in their deals, so they will not have free agency. Vickle had a deal, I think, carried over from when he was on the Florida Mutineers last season. So they didn't re-sign him, at least from what I know, to a new deal. Possible maybe to get one executed for champs, but at the moment, he is looking destined for free agency. And Real was picked up mid-season. And I'm gonna be honest, I'd be very surprised if they didn't execute his team option and at least explored keeping him on the roster for next season. Now, Vegas, most of the players on this team are on a team option. Nero is a free agent due to his deal, so he will hit the market. The way that Vegas has generally run their rosters every single year is that they do not pick up the option on everybody, and then they wait about 3 months and then sign everybody at the end of October. So I expect this situation here, but this one I have a little bit of a caveat on. Talking to Ace, he feels like they're going to hit the market. I would be surprised if Vegas don't pick some of these people up. That would be the smart thing to do. But they may also not do that because they're not smart, so who knows. Ace felt pretty confident that they'll hit the market, so I'll trust him on that. But if anyone in Vegas knows, around Vegas knows otherwise here, please let me know and I'll update this accordingly. LAG status is very simple. They did not sign people to a deal with option at the end, so all of them will hit the market. And I assume this is because LAG is trying to have no liabilities on the books because it's possible they will not operate or own the spot next year. So more to come there. But for Estriel, I think in particular will be a top sought after free agent, I think, during this window. Seattle's situation is actually like very interesting. So 04 is picked up mid-season with the team option. I don't see Seattle letting him walk, and I do think he's also like Estriel, another player who I think a lot of people are going to think about on better teams how they can make him work on the roster. Kyler, aka Hook, and Abuza are both free agents. I'm not surprised about Hook. But Abuza, his deal being structured where he's a free agent this year is certainly a decision on Seattle, one that might come back to bite him in the ass. We'll see. And then as far as Brezzy, he has a team option, joined mid-season, and for me, it's unclear about what they're going to do there. I just don't know what Seattle wants to do, and they still got champs, and I won't make a decision until 2 weeks after that. All right, so Thieves. So I think this one's fairly straightforward. Dan Ghosty, I would assume will get his team option picked back up because Dan has been their best player this season, and they would be stupid to let Dan walk because I think if they let him walk, he's walking on a top 4 team. As far as Nasty, Joe Thieves, and Kremp, I think it's unclear what Thieves want to do, and they still have champs upcoming, so I don't think they've made their mind here on what they want to do, and I'll be curious to see what they do during 2-week period. OpTic Texas. And also, by the way, some of y'all might say, why is this not in alphabetical order? That's on me. I gotta alphabetize this. Sorry. OpTic Texas. So this one's a little bit interesting. So Fred and Kenny signed new deals, joined the team last year, last offseason rather. So they're contracted. They're not going to hit free agency. Jotsy's a team option. There's no chance that they let him test free agency. I guess there is a chance, but I just don't see OpTic Texas doing it. So I'm going to say no on that one. Dashy's deal, which he signed, I assume last offseason when Rambo was still the GM. There was all the like, will he come back, not come back? You know, the Ender, Bruce, we say goodbye to and then bring him back in 24-hour situation. It doesn't seem like Dashy signed a new deal since then. So he's hitting the free agent market. That being said, just because a player is a free agent doesn't mean they won't come back. And in Dashy's case, I still see him on OpTic Texas next year, but he's got an opportunity to negotiate a new contract and get a nice little bag for himself. But he'll be able to talk to other teams, so who knows what happens there. Carolina. So talking to Ace, he feels like with the way that their situation is, that they may bring some of these players back, but they have 3 free agents based on deal structure, and then Gwyn will likely, you would think, not be able to hit free agents. So that's how that situation is. Clay's obviously already been kind of dropped from the team, so don't expect him to come back. The fellow TJ possible, but at least, you know, Carolina's gonna take forever to make the roster, and most of these players will be able to test free agency. Gwyn, obviously, they should keep and see what happens there. And then the last team is Toronto Ultra, and they're basically like Atlanta FaZe. They're on 1+1s or 2+1s, and they're just gonna kind of go from there. The interesting one will be, will Scrap then kind of sign a new deal in the offseason when put in front of him? If I were Scrap, or if I were Kleenex for that matter, or Jamie, realistically anyone in Toronto, I probably wouldn't maybe re-sign a deal because OpTic situation in particular, there's some leverage there if you want to play it. But interested to see what the contract statuses look like for the Toronto players after this offseason, but they're not going to hit the market. They will all get their options picked up unless some crazy stuff happens after champs with the organization. So yeah, that is the list. I gotta alphabetize that. I'll do that eventually. And I want to reiterate, just because a player is a free agent does not mean they will not come back to said team. As far as like, you know, testing the market, a lot of them I think will just come back to the squad other than LAG, because I don't know what's going to go on there. And it's always possible that some of these likely unlikelies may swing in the other way. That's why I'm hedging, because a lot of these teams are still at champs or qualify for champs rather. We don't know how they're going to play. We don't know what's going to happen, what the standings are going to be like. And my expectation is going to be that everyone who does not win champs will make at least a roster change this year. The last thing I want to say at the end of this video is that I'm a little concerned that we're not going to have public visibility on August 4th or 5th on what the team option pickup status looks like for all of these teams. I'm going to try and get that, but the way that the CDL website is done now, the way that they tweet, I'm a little concerned that that information will not be public, which will be a huge miss. So I beg the CDL to either address it in a blog post or in a tweet or something, so we know what decisions teams make 2 weeks after champs. All right, so let me know what you guys think of the video. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more. And as always, guys, we'll see you on the next one.